Let's start, though, with some breaking news concerning Manchester United and their search for a central midfielder. Let's come to you first, Mark. What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, when you talk about Manchester United and transfers, it's always significant. There's always a lot of interest because it's one of the biggest clubs on the planet, and therefore the fans are desperate to know what they're going to do in January. We know that Ruben Amorim has been speaking today about potential incomings, and we've got a little bit of breaking news here on Sky Sports News with regards to what they're looking to do, not necessarily in January. However, they have explored the possibility of signing players in the winter window. They're also looking ahead to the summer as well, but they have explored conditions of a potential deal for a central midfielder, the Brighton man, Carlos Baleba. We know that they have an interest in the player. They have been linked with him in the past, and they have explored conditions of a deal in this window. Brighton's stance is, as it always is, Carlos Baleba is not for sale. He's someone that we rate very highly, and therefore we are not interested in selling him, particularly during January. He has a contract until 2028 with a year's option on Brighton Hove Albion's side, so he's got a long-term contract, so we know that any potential deal would be significant. Brighton don't want to lose what they deem a key player at 21 years old. We know what happened to the last central midfielder they had that was very highly rated. Moises Caicedo went for what was then a Premier League record, 115 million.
Manchester United have quietly begun laying the groundwork for a potential January move that could significantly reshape their midfield, with the club exploring the conditions required to sign Brighton and Hove Albion's highly rated youngster Carlos Baleba. The 20-year-old has emerged as one of the most exciting midfield prospects in the Premier League, and his rapid adaptation to English football has not gone unnoticed by recruitment teams across Europe, including those at Old Trafford. United's interest is understood to be exploratory at this stage, as club officials assess Brighton's stance, valuation, and willingness to consider any mid-season departure for one of their key young assets. Baleba joined Brighton from Lille in 2023 and initially took time to settle, but his performances this season have underlined why the Seagulls invested heavily in his potential. Blessed with elite athleticism, press resistance, and a strong tactical understanding, Baleba has become an important part of Brighton's midfield rotation, capable of operating both as a defensive shield and a progressive ball carrier. Manchester United's midfield rebuild remains ongoing, with Erik ten Hag keen to add energy, physicality, and long-term security to a department that has struggled for consistency. Casemiro's form and fitness have been under scrutiny, while questions continue to surround United's balance in midfield during high-intensity matches against top opposition. Baleba's profile fits the type of signing United have been targeting in recent windows: young, Premier League proven, and with significant upside for future development. However, Brighton are famously tough negotiators and are under no financial pressure to sell, especially in January when suitable replacements are difficult to source. Any deal would likely require a substantial fee, potentially exceeding what United initially paid for several of their recent midfield additions. Brighton also value Baleba's versatility, seeing him as a long-term cornerstone rather than a short-term asset to be cashed in. From United's perspective, exploring the conditions of a deal does not necessarily mean an immediate bid is imminent, but it reflects growing admiration for the player within the club's recruitment structure. The January window presents challenges, particularly for clubs seeking strategic signings rather than emergency reinforcements, and United are aware that patience may be required. Baleba himself is believed to be focused on his development at Brighton, where regular minutes and a clear tactical role have accelerated his growth. That said, the opportunity to join a club of Manchester United's stature could test any player's resolve, especially one still early in his career. United may also consider alternative midfield targets should Brighton's demands prove prohibitive, keeping Baleba on their radar for a possible summer move instead. For now, discussions remain at an early, informational stage, with no formal approach submitted to Brighton. As the January window approaches, Manchester United's midfield plans will continue to evolve, and Carlos Baleba's name is one that could yet feature prominently in the club's long-term transfer strategy.